5 days after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963, his successor, Lyndon B Johnson, invoked JFK's memory to urge Congress to pass the Democrats' stalled legislative agenda.
An assassin's bullet has thrust upon me the awesome burden of the presidency.
Lyndon Johnson was no stranger to the ways of Congress. Before becoming Kennedy's vice president, the Texan had spent almost 3 decades on Capitol Hill as an advisor, House member, senator, then rising to Senate Majority Leader.
I am here today to say I need your help. I cannot bear this burden alone.
It was a call to action in the face of tragedy. It was also incredibly shrewd, if not downright cynical.
This nation has experienced a profound shock. And in this critical moment, it is our duty, yours and mine, as the government of the United States, to do away with uncertainty and doubt and delay, and to show that we are capable of decisive action.
And Lyndon Johnson had a long to-do list, starting with a civil rights bill to outlaw segregation and discrimination once and for all.
No memorial oration or eulogy could more eloquently honor President Kennedy's memory than the earliest possible passage of the civil rights bill for which he fought so long.
6 months later, as civil rights was being debated in the Senate, Johnson delivered the commencement address at the University of Michigan, and there he outlined his vision for America and what he termed the Great Society.
The Great Society rests on abundance and liberty for all. It demands an end to poverty and racial injustice, to which we're totally committed in our time.
Yet passing the Civil Rights Act was easier said than done. Johnson had to do a lot of arm twisting to muster enough votes to overcome the longest filibuster in history, led by some of Johnson's fellow Southern Democrats. But in July 1964, he signed it into law.
This Civil Rights Act is a challenge to all of us to go to work in our communities and our states, in our homes and in our hearts, to eliminate the last vestiges of injustice in our beloved country.
LBJ's Great Society program was just getting started. A week later, he signed the Urban Mass Transit Act. In August, the Food Stamps Act. He declared a war on poverty with the Economic Opportunity Act. Bolstered by a landslide election win that November, the legislation came thick and fast. In 1965, Johnson secured passage of the Voting Rights Act, outlawing poll taxes and literacy tests. Also in 1965, the most significant healthcare reforms in American history: Medicaid for the poor and Medicare for the elderly.
The new bill expands the 30-year-old Social Security program to provide hospital care, nursing home care, home nursing service, and outpatient treatment for those over 65.
Over the next 2 years, more than 200 bills passed on education, creating programs like Head Start, a massive housing bill, an end to discrimination in immigration. The 89th Congress also passed consumer protection laws, banning poisonous toys and deadly household items, and a law putting health warnings on cigarettes. The Public Broadcasting Act created National Public Radio and PBS, so we can thank LBJ for Sesame Street.
Hey, Bert, can you bring me a bar of soap? Yeah.
Many of the bills passed as part of Lyndon Johnson's Great Society program had been around for close to 20 years, but it took LBJ's political and legislative skills, the shocked aftermath of Kennedy's killing, a Cold War and a massive electoral mandate to get it done. And a number of those programs had a major and lasting impact, with poverty falling by almost half by the end of the 1960s. The Great Society wasn't just about improving the lives of American citizens, it was also designed as a counterpoint to Soviet communism. Johnson realised he couldn't call for freedom and equality in places like Russia or Vietnam if he didn't strive for it in places like Alabama and Harlem as well. But today, It is the escalation of the war in Vietnam for which Lyndon Johnson is most remembered. As it cleaved deep divisions in the American society, the Great Society was meant to heal.